Greg Kowalski. I'm chairman of the Hamtramck Historical Commission, and it was my great privilege and honor to have known Gail Colby while she was alive. And I had the honor of meeting her at one point, and in the over the years we communicated with each other by phone from her home in California to her other place, her home in Hamtramck, because Gail never really left Hamtramck. She was one of the greatest stars in Hollywood that the city has ever produced, but she always maintained her roots in Hamtramck. Well, what school did you graduate from?
Hamtramck High School.
Hamtramck High, yeah, see? And of course your sister was the librarian at the Hamtramck Public Library for many, many years.
But I think I told you that story about going there on Sunday afternoons with her. She'd get you up on work, and I'd play librarian, and I'd read, and reading is still one of my joys in life.
Gail began her career as a child when she got into dancing at the Hamtramck schools. And we have a photo of her that she had given to us some years ago. She donated a whole collection of her material, her Hollywood memorabilia, to the Historical Commission, and we now have it in our archives. And we have some of it on display at the New Hamtramck Historical Museum as well. But this is young Gail when she started in dancing, and as she got a little bit older, she went into acting and became quite proficient at it, so much so that she eventually relocated to Hollywood, where she studied acting in college. And the story she told me is that she was at a movie studio, I believe MGM, when Cecil B. DeMille, the great director, saw her while he was producing the film The Ten Commandments. And he saw her in a cafeteria, and he said, "I want you in that film." And she got a bit part in the film, just a small part as one of the handmaidens there. But it did launch her career, and she took that very successfully, went on to have a career in film and in starring in many, many TV shows in the 1950s and 1960s. Here's a photo of her with Richard Boone from Paladin from the 1950s, late 1950s, and she did so many TV shows, literally hundreds of them that we have, and we have many photos from the different shows that she had done through the years. And she had a second career as well as in production, where she produced a great number of soap operas on TV and was very successful with that. One of the items that she did donate to us that was very special, this is a working script from the TV show Dr. Kildare. And that was an extremely popular show in the early 1960s, and she had a key role in this particular episode of Dr. Kildare called Immunity. And it was a story of a Polish doctor, essentially, and the trial she had in facing discrimination at that point in the early 1960s. And she did such a wonderful performance here that she was nominated for an Emmy. She was, in addition to her great acting career, a humanitarian. She did a lot of charity work. She was involved in theater for many, many years. She was extremely successful. And in fact, this is the dedication of her star in the Walk of Fame in Palm Springs, Hollywood, where she lived for a while, and just represented Hamtramck very well, too. She never forgot her roots here. Her sister was Bea Adamski, the longtime director of the Hamtramck Public Library, and after Bea died, I believe in 2005, Gail donated material from her to the Hamtramck Public Library, and kept in touch with her friends still in Hamtramck, though. She always had her roots here, and she would frequently buy things from the Polish Art Center. And she would call me once every so often, and we'd just chat. And she had moved from her house and moved into an apartment, and she told me all about that. And the thing that impressed me so much about her, too, was she was a very humble person. She was extremely successful. Was a major figure in Hollywood, and as some of these documents really attest, although she kept a low profile in a lot of ways. But she was very, very humble, very kind and generous, really good-natured, and she never, ever lost her connection to Hamtramck, and we can appreciate that greatly for her connection to this city. She made all of Hamtramck very proud and continues to do that today. We do show some of her TV shows and films from time to time, and we're going to be doing that again at the New Hamtramck Historical Museum, where we do now have a display set up in her honor.
Do you know, my sister had, we bought burial plots, and we had I said, oh, let's have a stone made with Kobe and Adamski on it. And then my mother's name is there, and B's name is there, the date of birth, and Walt's date of birth. And then eventually my mother died first, and then Walter died, and then B died. And my name is there with the date of my birth. I almost had an attack when I saw it. First of all, it's weird.
Yeah.
But second of all, I said, now everybody's going to know how old I am. And now I don't care.
We won't forget Gail Colby. I'll never forget her. She was a sweet person, and I'll always remember her. But thank you so much. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to finally meet you.
I
Truly.
thought we had met before, but I'm very happy to meet you as well.
Great.
Thanks for being so kind and complimentary. I appreciate that.
That's all true. Thank you.
Thank you.